God healed his cancer. So one of the biggest things I've wanted to do with this channel is I've wanted to share testimonies, not just from me, but from other people that I've met. And the thing is, I don't necessarily want testimonies coming from people who know I have a YouTube channel. I kind of just let them find me. And I've got a few, actually, that I want to share. Still waiting on permission. But I had a lady that I just met. We just started going to a new church. And her husband have a son that has Down syndrome. And he is a super, super sweet kid. But his mom and I started talking the other day. And again, didn't tell her anything about the YouTube channel. She didn't know nothing about this. But we got to talking about God and him moving in the church and the miraculous and all that stuff. Well, she shared her testimony with me about how she had got saved. But then she shared a testimony about how God healed her son. And I thought this was absolutely amazing. After she told me the story, then I told her about the YouTube and I asked her if I could share it. So a while back, her son started getting really sick and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. Well, something happened and he ended up falling and hitting his head. So some time went by and he was still really sick. Well, then he started having some issues with his foot. He was having a lot of, I think she said, twitching or something with his foot, and it was really bothering him. So they took him to the doctor and they did a full CT scan. And when they did the CT scan, they actually found out there were little tumors all over his brain and all down his spine. And the tumors were actually causing a lot of issues. That's what was making him sick and what was causing the foot issue. So this was on a Thursday when they did this CT scan. Well, that Sunday, they took him to church, and he had been sick for a while. So this is the first time he went to the church in quite some time. And she said they went in the church, and they told the church about it. And she said, just like in the book of James, the elders gathered together, they anointed him with oil, and they prayed for his healing. Well, she said the next day, on a Monday, they took him in to talk to the doctor about their plans for the chemo and all that kind of stuff. And then she asked him, hey, can we do another CT scan? And she said the doctor actually kind of got annoyed with her. He said, there's no reason to do another CT scan. We've already done it. And she said, please, can you just do another one? It would just make me feel better, and I will pay out of pocket if I have to. So after kind of resisting for a while, the doctor finally did another CT scan. Well, she said he walks in, and he's white as a ghost. And he walks in with the paperwork and everything, and he says, I can't explain it. I don't know what's happening, but there's no tumors anywhere. Like, all the tumors are gone. But she said the craziest thing was that the doctor said where the tumors were, there were little bitty holes everywhere, all over his spine, all over his brain where the tumors were. There's these little bitty markers of where the tumors were. And she said it instantly reminded her of when Jesus went to the disciples and Thomas, doubting Thomas, didn't believe. And he said, unless I put my fingers in the holes, I'm not going to believe. And Jesus showed up and said, here, touch them. And he touched the holes in his hands and touched the hole in his side. And she said it was the same thing. It's like Jesus had left a reminder that the tumors were there. Listen, I just thought that was an amazing story. And listen, this is the God we serve. He's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. So no matter what you're dealing with, if it's sickness, if it's a lost family member, if it's your financial situation, it doesn't matter what it is. Go to God in faith and pray and expect God to show up. Don't worry about the naysayers. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be somebody saying, yeah, right, I don't believe that stuff. The Bible's not true. You know as well as I do, we serve a God that is alive and well. Jesus died on the cross. He rose again. By his stripes we're healed. He said he'll take care of all of our needs. He's going to walk through the valleys with us. He's got us covered. And the most beautiful thing is the Bible says, according to your faith, be it unto you. So the whole world could doubt, but if you believe, anything's possible. That's been my attitude my whole life. That's how I've had so many amazing experiences with God. That's how these miracle stories find me. I just expect it to happen. That's just where my faith is. God's going to show up. So no matter what anybody says, keep believing that God's going to show up, and he will.